Hey everyone, BNSF9382 here with a new video and an overview of my current setup here on my HO scale layout. The two objectives and two requirements that I have for this layout is one is to be able to run two trains at the same time. So that is my first requirement when designing and laying out this track work. The second objective I have is to incorporate the two bridges that I have. One new one that I built and the one from a previous layout. So if any of you out there have bridges on your layouts and have recommendations on how I can incorporate these two bridges into my layout, I'd appreciate any recommendations you have. But right now I've got the bench work pretty much cleaned up. All the junk is hidden, and I'd like to start doing some work on this to make some actual progress. I'm standing on a stool right now to try to give you a bird's eye view of what I currently have. So we'll pan around here and show you what's going on. Obviously, you're all familiar with the diesel facility, the 3 tracks leading into that. You're also familiar with the crossover. Crossover is working very well. I'm very happy with it. No electrical issues, no derailments. It's working real well. Better than crawling underneath every time I need to get inside. So pretty happy with it. As we pan around, I think I've shown this in a previous video, the 3 loops, or the 3 curves, 30-inch, 27-inch, 24-inch. The buildings, Smith factory, the warehouse, and the loading dock are just staged there. They're not. It's not a permanent placement for those structures. Just keeping them out of the way. I am considering putting in a right-hand turnout just off of this outside line to provide rail access to this area back here. That's probably going to be one of the next things I do. Just there's a lot of space back here. I don't want it to go to waste, so we'll get some rail service back into that corner. At least 1 or 2 lines, whatever it works out to be. There's also room on the inside of this circular area here that I can get some rail service into, either for staging or industries or whatever the case. So definitely get whatever types of whatever I come up with as far as getting service into that area inside that loop. But again, this long wall bench work is 21 feet long, 3 feet wide. You can see that white piece of styrene. That's where the road bed stops, and the temporary, just roughly laid out track picks up from there. Across the back wall, that's 10 feet across, and again the bench work is 3 feet deep. And coming back up this side, back up around the diesel facility. That's pretty much where I'm at right now. Between the holidays, budget, having the money to fund our addiction here is always an issue. So I haven't really had the money to go out and buy a lot of turnouts and track and things that I need to proceed, but I do have to make some progress. So The main objective of this video is to ask for some assistance and some recommendations. So let me jump down off this stool and we'll walk inside and take a closer look. Bear with me. All right, lift up. Again, there's no switches or nothing I have to do other than just lift this up. There's no bolts or screws or any latches or anything that I have to move or unhook or whatever. And it lines up pretty good, just dropping it back down. At some point, I still want to isolate this area. I tend to run the trains in this direction, so even if the bridge is up, the train's going to hit it and it's not going to fall off on the floor. So, but I haven't had any accidents yet. But I do want to isolate this at some point, just to keep that from happening. I'm also have a vision of isolating all these tracks inside the diesel facility. I've seen some other guys on their videos that have either one main switch, or I could have 5 separate switches for the 5 lines that come in here. I'd like to do that because every time I plug in the layout, I only have 3 locomotives, but as it is, all 3 of them fire up, and I end up having to go through and turn the volumes off on them and stuff. So I may end up at some point isolating these lines in here just with the switch, so I can turn them on and off individually. No reason for them to sit there and suck up power when they're just sitting there. So that's something I may do down the road. But again, I'll try to go slow here. Again, the main objective here is to get some feedback and some input on how to proceed with my layout, with the design. The 2 objectives, again, that I have are to be able to run a minimum of 2 trains all the time, at the same time. And I have the objective of incorporating these 2 bridges into the layout. The way I've kind of narrowed it down, I have 2 options. I can either elevate the track to get up to the desired height, or I can recess the bridges into the bench work. I guess that's my number one, problem that I'm having, is how to incorporate these 2 bridges. I think the Woodland Scenics riser incline kit that comes in a 2-degree incline, I think that takes 16 feet to get 4 inches of height. I haven't measured this all out, but I think I have 16 feet on either side that I could get the track up to this height, which is about 4 inches. Again, don't know if I want to elevate the track or recess these into the bench work. That's why I'm doing this video, to ask for some help. So if you have recommendations on how to incorporate these 2 bridges without taking up all of the real estate that I have, I'd appreciate your input. Now, this is a double track viaduct bridge, which I'd like to get 2 tracks over, and this one is a single track. So I've considered, ideas of placing this bridge so, there's a crossover, with a rail going underneath it, maybe just a road going underneath it, whatever the case. But I'm open to suggestions. I also consider, placing this bridge in line with one of the rails, one of the lines that comes off this double bridge. So I could have a one track coming off and go into this bridge while this track, goes somewhere else. So they don't necessarily have to be on 3 separate lines, I guess is what I'm saying. But again, the objective is 2 trains running at the same time and a track plan that incorporates both of these bridges. Everything else, track storage, car storage, industry, all of the other things that come along with track design are all in play also. I do want a switching layout, but I also want to be able to run trains for the grandkids and for whoever, myself, just to be able to have a train running when I'm out in the garage. So I guess that's 3 objectives. 2 trains running, the 2 bridges, and switching. So I guess that's about it for the layout. Several folks had asked me for a kind of an overview of where I was at and what I've got. So very similar to some of my older videos. If you want to go back and watch some of the older videos from the previous version of this layout. Anyway, the other reason I wanted to get a video out was to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I hope everyone gets some train stuff for Christmas, and I'll be looking forward to seeing videos of what everybody got for Christmas. So, again, I'd like to start actually making some progress on the layout, and I'm getting stuck when it comes to the bridges. I don't want to get too far into something and again not be able to incorporate the bridges the way I would like. So again, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we'll probably talk to everybody again after the first of the year. That's it for now.